Now, I want to talk about this. Proceeds of stealing should not be misconstrued as breakthrough. This is very important. Proceeds of stealing should not be misconstrued as breakthrough. You see, there are people, you can go to a shop, you go to a kiosk or probably a shop or a supermarket. You want to buy something. And then after buying that thing, probably you're given much more change, excess change, excess balance. You are in public transport, you're going to town, and then you give this conductor your money, and then the conductor, forgetfully gives you so much more excess money. Or probably he does not even remember to ask you money. He does not even remember to ask you the fare to your destination. You see that? So you go to a particular place, you go to the market, and then you're buying certain things. And when you're giving this seller, this is money, the seller realizes, probably because he or she is very preoccupied and does many other things, so much money he gives you back to you, or probably he might or she might even give you back the same money that you gave them, and then all of a sudden you start thinking that that's breakthrough. Those are proceeds of stealing. Proceeds of such kind of things should not be misconstrued as breakthrough. God does not bless people like that. God's blessings, they come in a mighty way. They come in a righteous way. They come in a dignified way. Even when Ruth was gleaning the field of Boaz, the Bible says that it is Boaz that instructed the workers that whatever falls off, don't go back to pick it. It was intentional. It was deliberate. It was not things that were falling off without their understanding or without their knowledge. And Ruth was busy picking them up and stuffing them in her bag and calling them breakthrough. So this is very important. You don't go to a church and then probably at that point you're giving your offering, and then you're asking for probably some balance. Probably you're giving 1,000 shillings. You want 200 shillings or 300 shillings to be the offering, and then they give you a balance of 700, and then the usher forgets and gives you back 1,000 shillings that you gave them, or even much more than that. You can't call that breakthrough. You see that? So proceeds of stealing should not be misconstrued as breakthrough. Listen, the children of Israel had just gone to buy corn the first time, and when they bought corn, they were given so much and their sacks were full. But the Bible says the money they were supposed to have paid in Egypt, they found the money in their sacks at that point. So when they opened their sack actually to see the corn that they had bought, they found every one of them with money inside the sack. And the children would have probably said, "Oh, Hurrah, this is breakthrough. This is something this is favor. This is an open door." But there is a man I want us to learn from, because this man is a patriarch. This man knows God. This man is a father. And there's so much he can teach us. And in Genesis chapter 43, verse number 12. Genesis 43, verse number 12. The man of God is called Israel, who was also Jacob, or who was called Jacob, and then his name was that was changed rather to Israel. It says, "And take double money in your hand, and the money that was brought again to the mouth of your sacks. Carry it again into your hand, or in your hand. Peradventure it was an oversight." Let me read again. "And take double money in your hand," that is the money of the corn that you're going to buy right now, plus the money of the corn that you came with, but then you never paid the person. You never paid the seller. He said, "Take it. Take that double money that was brought again in the mouth of your sacks. Carry it again in your hand. Peradventure it was an oversight." Because the fact that money was returned to you, yet you went with the goods, does not necessarily guarantee that was breakthrough. See, when Jesus is seated in the house of Zacchaeus, dining with Zacchaeus, Zacchaeus stands up and realizes in the presence of Jesus that proceeds of stealing can never be misconstrued as breakthrough. He says, "If I stole anything," he first of all he says, "half of my wealth I give to the poor." There's restitution. He says, "If I took anything from any person by false pretense, I will restore fourfold. Now Zacchaeus understood that principle, and that is why Jesus says salvation has come to this house. There are people who probably they could be gas attendants in gas stations, that the person gave you money, but then after giving you money, that person sort of like you're supposed to return the change back to that person, and then, okay, I'm talking now about the person who probably you're the driver, you're the owner of the car. The gas attendant gave you so much more than you expected. So in terms of change, he gave you excess change, and you drove off thinking that's breakthrough. That is stealing. And those proceeds of stealing should not be misconstrued as breakthrough. Learn from Zacchaeus, because Jesus had encountered this man. He was transforming him. Learn from Jacob, who was actually changed to Israel, because he's a patriarch of faith. Listen to me once again. I'm repeating the topic, and the message is this: proceeds of stealing must not or should not be misconstrued as breakthrough.